If country alpha has been experiencing a higher inflation rate than country beta over the past decade, which of the following is true? So in this situation, we're told that there are two countries, country alpha and country beta, and we're also given that country alpha has been experiencing a higher inflation rate than country beta, and we're asked to identify which of the following statements is true given this information. So to answer this question, let's draw out two forex market graphs. For the first graph, we'll look for country alpha. So for country alpha, the x-axis represents the quantity of alpha's currency, and the y-axis represents the value of beta over alpha, which is essentially the exchange rate for country alpha's currency. And then for the second graph, let's do this for country beta. The x-axis is similarly quantity of beta's currency, and the y-axis is the exchange rate for the country beta's currency. And for both of these curves, there are two sloping curves. The upward sloping curve represents the supply of alpha's currency, and the downward sloping curve represents the demand for country alpha's currency. Similarly, for the forex graph for beta, the upward sloping curve represents the supply of beta's currency, and the downward sloping curve represents the demand for beta's currency. Now, because country alpha has been experiencing a higher inflation rate, that means country alpha has a lower real interest rate. This is because the real interest rate is equal to the nominal interest rate minus inflation rate. So because there's higher inflation, which represents this, then the nominal interest rate minus a higher inflation is a lower real interest rate. So the interest rate as a whole is lower. Because the real interest rate is lower, the demand for country alpha's currency is lower, and this can also be represented by an increase in supply, because the people in country alpha would supply more of their currency in exchange for beta's currency. So because of this increase in supply, the supply would shift to the right, and this is supply of country alpha's currency too. Now on beta's side, because it has a higher real interest rate, there would be a greater demand for their currency. So this can be represented by a shift to the right of their demand. And now we can see that country alpha's currency initially was up here for their exchange rate, but now it went down here. So as a whole, country alpha's currency depreciated. But for country beta, we can see that their exchange rate was here, but after the higher inflation rates, their exchange rate is up here. Therefore, country B's currency has appreciated. Now, with this information, let's look at the answer choices. A. Country alpha's currency will have appreciated relative to beta's currency. This is incorrect because we clearly highlighted how, given these graphs, country alpha's currency will have depreciated and country beta's currency will have appreciated. So A is incorrect because it has the reverse. B. Alpha's currency will have depreciated relative to beta's currency. This seems to be the correct answer because this follows what we have detailed in our graphs and our conclusions. So overall, B seems to be the correct answer. C. Alpha will have had a lower nominal interest rate than beta. This is incorrect because following this, we can see that the nominal interest rate will be greater because an increase in inflation means that inflation plus real interest rate will lead to a higher nominal interest rate. So C is incorrect. D. Alpha will have had slower growth in the money supply than beta. This is incorrect because we can't tell the money supply change from these situations. E. Alpha's economy will have grown at a faster rate than beta's. This is incorrect because, like D, we can't quite tell this from these graphs. So therefore, the correct answer is B.